Hello to everybody, my name is Maxi. I'm working for the R&D department for Flysurfer.
And I'm Theo. I'm also part of the R&D department and a former Formula Kite racer.
So we are really proud of our new products. We want to present you first our brand new socks. So you can have them in white color and you will have a really nice Flysifer branding on it. So this is for sure one of the game-changing products we offer on the market pretty soon. And let's go now to the control bars, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna present you our new carbon controls bar. We released and developed a new race bar for the 2028 Olympic cycle. The goal was to be able to bring as a big company the highest standard in terms of what you can have and find in a control bar for racing. So we developed this carbon tube together with Stan Kirsch from Switzerland, who's been in the kiting and racing industry for a really long time. The idea was to be able to get a really nice and small quick release to be able to optimize the deep water travel, which you need for racing, because we're flying up to 23-meter kites, and it's a really great tool to be able to shit out and shit in a lot for both up and downwind. Together with that, we developed a trim system with a 3-to-1 ratio, which allows you to be able to use the adjuster while having the kite fully loaded without having to change your position. So you can grab the rope while pushing hard, adjust to wherever you want. We do have a safety line on this control bar, which is really easy to get rid of for some people that doesn't want to ride fall kites with a safety line. Every single line and part is really easy to remove and replace because with heavy intense use there are parts that you need to replace over time, and we made sure this is easy to replace and you don't have to change the whole setup just because one line got damaged or overuse. On top of that, we use the highest flying line standard in terms of racing to get the best or the less drag. Same for the leader lines. We decided to go for leader lines to protect your hands when you need to sometimes steer the kite really direct and not burning your hands, but they are really low drag. And that's our sync bar, which is the race model for this Olympic cycle. And aside of this project, we developed the sync free ride. We realized that we really liked, and a lot of people like riding these thin and really stiff and minimalist carbon tubes. And the idea was to bring this technology into the free ride or free race market. And that's why we developed this bar with our new quick release, which is super compact. It has a click-in system. You can replace the hook size. It got all the norms, which Maxi is gonna explain you later on the other freeride bar. And with that, we kept a normal freeride adjuster that you don't have all this line bending when you don't want on a freeride use. We have a super easy to adjust backline system also to get to the optimized trim that you want to have. And with this bar, we have like thicker lines, which are freeride lines, which you can trim like you want because we deliver them with 17-meter line, has a standard flying line length. And then we deliver with 3-meter extension 2 times. So you can ride 17, 20 or 23 meter lines, which is a really nice tool because for example, on my personal use, I do have bars that I use both on my tube kites and foil kites, and it's really nice to be able to adjust the line lengths depending on the use you want to make, the board you have under your feet, foiling, freeride foiling, free racing or twin tipping. And yeah, when you have a bar you can use in really tough conditions, for example on an 8-meter tube kite or on a 18 or 21 meter freeride kite, I think it's really nice. And aside of these carbon products, we have a brand new bar lineup, which Maxi is gonna present you.
let's go to the brand new freeride bars. So our idea with those 3 new bars was to have a perfect fitting product to all of our kites. So we are offering kind of training kites, which is the hybrid, and we have also a high mountaineering kite, it's the peak. For this we have optimized one bar, which is the connect bar. The connect bar is like as simple as possible to do not tangle somewhere in teaching or having problems at mountaineering. You can have this bar as a 4-line bar, or you can modify it to a 5th-line bar. So we are offering on the peak a reef safety, so it's just packed down really quick when you are riding it with the 5th line to be as safe as possible on top of the mountains. Yeah, and it's coming in 3 sizes, so it's optimized depending on which kite size you are. We're bringing it with our smart quick release, so it's a well-known quick release on the market, which is super safe. Yeah, so this is basically our connect bar. And then we have the freeride bar, which is the Fusion. The Fusion is basically coming as well with our brand new Link quick release, which is ISO certified in all conditions, so as well as normal sand conditions and snow. We have a ball bearing in, so it's really nice untwisting. As Theo showed you already, it's a click in. Yeah, it's really nice. It's coming with 2 loop sizes. Then we have a Dynema T-Power rope, where the strings are coated with PU. So we really like to have this flexible line. So when you depower in hard steering, there is no friction at all. You can adjust the clamp grid in the height. So if you're a smaller person, you can move it down to have a shorter depower travel. Yeah, and at the end, so this is as well made with really low drag on steering. So it's really flexible here, that you get a really direct feel to the kite without bending any EVA before you feel the kite. So you have a really good feel on this bar. It's coming with a separator pin, which is a modular system. So you can take it out if you want and take the pin out and add placeholders. So the only thing you need to do is to open up 2 screws and change the system. Some people, they do not like to have the separator because they need to sort out the front lines, or they have a little bit more friction in steering. So it's depending what you want. You can just take it out or leave it in. Yeah, and then we have our force bar. The force bar has its benefits to change the bar size. So you just click it out, turn it and click it in again. So you can change the bar width. And everything else is basically really similar than the Fusion bar. It's more protected on the winders. So if you want to have more safety and if you want to change your force size according to your different kite sizes, this would be the perfect match for you.
Something I really like about this separator option is the ability of the bar to automatically untwist the front line. I do usually jump or do my rotation on one side, and sometimes I have to spend a little bit of time to untwist the front line for durability and overall because I have so many twists. And with this feature, you can just keep the whole session jumping on one side, doing your rotation, doing your thing without having to worry about the durability of your front line or any safety issue because they got too much tangle. And yeah,
AWSI.
this is a really good plus on this bar in my opinion. So at Flysurfer, we've been making foil kites for a really long time. We have a complete lineup of different foil kites for different use. The first one I want to present you is the hybrid. We call it hybrid because it has half of the profile with a double skin, which would inflate with the inside pressure, and the rest of the profile is a single skin. This kite is really easy to handle. That's a really good and great learning tool because it's quite slow. It flies in really light wind. The pull it generates is really smooth and continuous. There is no on-off feeling. It's also a really great kite for surfing waves because it has a lot of drift. And I do use this kite in a kind of winging direction on a pocket board because you can use it to go upwind, and then you can just surf without having to worry too much about the kite position because it would just drift and accept the fact that you would ride into the line and have like a slack in the lines. Yeah, once again, for teaching, for schools, this kite flies in pretty much no wind. In 5 knots wind, you can have it in the air. You can connect it directly to beginners without having to worry about any safety issue. Then, in terms of single skin kite, we have the Peak. This is the new Peak 6, which we're gonna release over the winter. This kite is made for snow kiting. This is a really lightweight construction. The good thing about this kite is that it generates a lot of power. So you can basically have a really compact kite in your backpack, which you can use to cover distance when the wind blows. It's really light. It has a really wide wind range. It does generate like really continuous pull. So when you're in the mountain, in a couloir or something, you always want to make sure the kite is gonna pull you without having off moment of pull. And the safety system is one of the great features of this kite because once you reach the peak and you want to pack up the kite to get down skiing without any kite in the air, we do have a safety system which when you activate it basically shrink the whole canopy, which makes it really easy to relaunch and completely turns off the power the kite generates. And this is why the Peak is a really safe kite for the mountain. It's really light and it has a really wide wind range. Then we have one of our best sellers, which is the Soul. This is the Soul 3, which we just released. This is the foil kite that tends to get the closest to a tube kite feeling. We have from size 6 to 18, so we cover all the needs from freeride kiting. We did work a lot on the handling of this kite. There are a lot of people thinking that foil kites are really technical, that don't want to get into this potential mess up of bridle lines, but that's something that we managed to improve a lot over the years. This kite relaunches really well. It keeps the air really well inside, which gives the whole structure of the canopy. Yeah, we worked a lot on the durability. One of the things with the foil kites back then was that there are so many lines that can potentially get out of trim. And now with the experience we had and the choice of material, we are able to choose specific lines for the specific load they have to handle, which end up making a foil kite that you don't have to focus on trimming because it would over time keep the trim or go in the correct direction. And this kite, we've seen some of our bigger riders throwing massive mega loops on the small sizes. The big sizes are made more for light wind foiling or even twin tipping. When there is 10 knots or something, you can have so much fun. There is no flapping on this kite, so even when you get really powered, they tend to stay comfy to ride because they don't deform and they would always keep the same shape and have the same flying characteristic kind of. And yeah, the performance they deliver in the low end are just exceptional because you can jump in 12 knots. Once you're in the air, you have a lot of air time, you can do board off, you can have a lot of fun, and yeah, they're really, really fun to ride. Yeah, then we are on the tube kite line, I think, which Maxi is gonna present you.
Yeah, I think I start with the 1 strut and then we go and work through to our 5 strut kites. So this year we launched our Indie Kite. It's our 1 strut kite. It's just the perfect tool for light wind kiting, for foiling, as well as for not that advanced riders. It's a really, really easy to use kite. So once you're riding and you don't know what to do anymore, you can just leave your bar. The kite will drop, will work through the wind window edge and is parking at the wind window edge, just starting or waiting for you for launching. So really easy and intuitive in handling. A really big benefit of this one strut compared to some other kites for sure is that there is almost no flapping. So when you depower our one strut Indy, there is almost no flapping. It gives you a lot of control while depowering, which makes it feeling like a normal 3-strut or 5-strut kite, which is super nice. It's jumping really well with a proper hang time for one strut. So it's a really good package to start with and to continue and having a lot of fun on it. Then we are launching quite soon our 3-strut kite. It's the Stoke. The Stoke is a little bit more orientated to wave riding and free riding, so it's a mixture between. It has a really good drift and power delivery. So if you want to do kite loops, you just want to have fun in waves or just jumping around, doing your first tricks, it's a really good tool to improve yourself on your riding style. And then we have our Era. It's already a well-known kite in the big air market, I would say. It's a 5-strut kite, which is mainly made for full-on big air. So the Era is a really easy to use big air kite, I would say. It's really easy to do your first kite loops with it, but you can also go completely crazy in the highest and strongest winds. It's holding its shape really good, so there is no bouncing at all, even if you go completely overpowered, which gives you a lot of control to be able to hold the edge as long as possible and to send it up with full speed to get the highest heights in the WU ranking, for example, or doing crazy stuff like all the big air riders are doing. So yeah, we're really proud of this, and we're looking forward to see more in Sky.